Welcome to the Haggis Reddit. Today's topics come from r/AskReddit, and we're going to be looking at the responses to the following questions. What is the stupidest thing you've heard someone say that they were 100% serious about? If it came out that we were 100% living in a simulation, what would be the biggest indicator looking back? And you get pushed into 2030 for 10 minutes and you get one Google search. What are you looking for? As always, it'd be great to get you involved in the comments section and give me your own responses as well. What is the stupidest thing you've heard someone say that they were 100% serious about? At one of my first jobs as a graphic designer, a client called me into his office and pulled up a photo he took. He then asked me if I could turn it around. No, not rotate it, but turn the viewpoint around. He wanted to see what was behind the camera when he originally took the photo. God, I have so many stories from that job. Yeah, bro, it says carbonated because they removed the carbs. While standing in line at a drugstore. Best eavesdrop of my life. A guy I work with said that a football referee runs over the distance of a marathon during a game. I pointed out that a football game was only 90 minutes long and that the marathon record was just over 2 hours, so that would be impossible. He said it was possible because a football referee changes direction a lot during a game, and it all adds up. Can you email me back the PDF I emailed you? It's my only copy. English teacher here. Once, while showing my class the Leonardo DiCaprio version of Romeo and Juliet, I had a student stare at the screen in utter confusion for half the movie before she said, "How can he be in this movie? He died in Titanic. If Earth is spinning, then why my front door is always facing east?" Some random girl on the elevator pointed out how ridiculous it is that we had a button for the floor we were already on. People who build stuff are so stupid, she said with 100% seriousness. Blueberry muffins you buy pre-made don't have any blueberries in them. Blueberries cost too much. They dye bees blue because they have the same texture and use them. He has explained it to multiple people multiple times. I love that getting bees and dyeing them blue apparently costs less than just using blueberries. I knew that from the get-go, then proceeded to argue that it was definitely gecko and not get-go. P.S. I now only say from the get-go because that's absolutely hilarious. I was stationed in Germany in the late 80s and 90s. Every Thanksgiving, multiple dudes would be perplexed as to why the Germans didn't celebrate. A dude once told me he was excited to celebrate the 4th with the Germans and asked if they did fireworks. I love you, my brothers, but some of you are dumb. I was on a date at an art museum. The painting tag said who it was made by, the title, and made circa 1600, and she said, "Do you think the Earth was even around back then? You just never really know." From my own experience, the stupidest thing that someone has ever said to me was while I was walking down the street with my puppy, he was only a few months old, an older couple came up to me and said, "Excuse me, young man, what breed is that of dog?" And I said, "Oh, it's a pug. Have you not seen one before?" And they said, "A pug? Oh, that must be when they breed a pig and a dog together." To say that words failed me in this moment is an almighty understatement, but I tried to make them feel not so stupid by saying I'm sure that some pigs somewhere have been crossbred with something. I had to hold back that I thought they could be the first living examples. If it came out that we were 100% living in a simulation, what would be the biggest indicator looking back? The USB plug's still the wrong way after you turn it over. It's actually a virtual screwdriver that looks like a plug. You just have to turn it over enough times to screw it in. They never patched the animation, going into a room and forgetting what I was going to do. We're Sims, and they cancelled the action. Our Sims can play The Sims. Outer space not having sound. Very convenient, dear devs. Very convenient. How arbitrary the speed of light limit is. It's just the read-write speed limit of the hard drive we're living in. Junior simulation dev. Hey, should we model the whole universe? Senior simulation dev. Nah, just make a sky dome texture. Junior simulation dev. What do we do if they make it to the edge? Senior simulation dev. Just cap their travel speed. By the time they get there, it will be somebody else's problem. All the deja vu moments. Like, come on now, I've played this level already. That it never fails that once you start to get a little bit ahead in life, your car's check engine light comes on. Never seeing my neighbours carrying in groceries. Things would reappear only when I stop looking for it. If that's not a dead giveaway that we're living in a simulation, I don't know what is. And don't forget about hairpins and hair ties. Where do they even go? One time, some friends and I were playing a game on Steam called Tabletop Simulator. It's a game where you can play board games and have to actually move the pieces and such. It had the ability for any player to spawn in any game pieces for any game at any time. There's also an extras category. One of the extras you can spawn in is an iPad. So we get messing around and it's a functioning iPad. I open up Antcon Arcade and tried playing Hex Empire. It worked! So I'm sitting in my game room on my PC playing a game on Steam with a VR headset strapped to my face where I'm sitting at a table on an iPad playing a fully functioning Flash games on that iPad. I was like, how much deeper does this go than me? Is somebody playing me too? I used to work in a pharmacy, so I asked about 100 people for their name and date of birth every day. A couple weeks into the job, I mentioned to a co-worker how I hadn't had a single customer with the same birthday as me. Got 4 of them over the next 2 days. For me personally, I don't like the idea that we're living in a simulation, because if we are, then the people who've made it, whoever's made it, they have absolutely nailed all the things that completely suck in the world, including most people not having enough money to make ends meet. I would say the big indicator for me is sleep. We don't know how it works and we're not even sure why we dream and what's going on. That's where we're probably receiving all our programming from the simulation. You get pushed into 2030 for 10 minutes and you get one Google search. What are you looking for? Has George R.R. Martin finished the series? George R.R. Martin, age 81, recently announced that The Winds of Winter is nearly complete and that he expects to be done by mid-2031 at the latest. Mr. Martin stated that he is at least 70% done and he just needs to work out a few details. 2024 March Madness bracket. Warren Buffett has a standing $1 billion offer to whomever gets a perfect bracket. Maybe Warren Buffett wants to trap a time traveler. Looking up obituaries for terrible public figures, CEOs, politicians, hate group leaders, etc. Then upon return, anonymously creating a widely announced death note scenario where one of the tracked individuals has their death announced a day in advance for their heinous behaviour. At first it's a hoax, a joke, or several lucky guesses, but after enough accurate predictions, the doubt begins to creep in. The influential sleazes of the world begin to clean up their acts due to a quasi-mystical, unavoidable, and all-knowing threat of imminent doom. Lottery numbers 2023. Or highest growth stocks from 2023 to 2030. Lottery numbers 2023 to 2030. Fixed it for you. Big oily tikka masala, who said that? Some things don't change regardless of time. Yeah, bud? Am I pregnant? How do I use the shells? He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells. 10 minutes for one Google search? I will search why the internet is so slow. 404, google.com cannot be found. GTA 6 release date. Geometry Dash 2.2 release date. I think that might be 2 searches there, my friend, but we'll let you off with that one. Probably look for my obituary. If I die of cancer, then I will know to keep a lookout, get an early start on that fiend. Catching it early is half the battle. Reported missing in 2023. The body was never found. Reddit. You go back in time to 2023, what would you do? So for me personally, if I get pushed into 2030 for 10 minutes, I'm not going to waste any time Googling something. I'd stand up, see if I can borrow someone's phone, and then I would call my kids and ask them how they're doing. And maybe get them to tell me what their biggest regrets are over the last 7 years and how much of their problems were caused by me and what can I do to make it better. Anyway, that's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Why not toss a like to the haggis and consider subscribing if you'd like more daily content. Catch you in the next one. Later.